Hello, lovely women. It's Claudia Vidor here. I am a nutrition and dietetic clinician. And if you already don't know me, I am the founder of Nourish by Claudia and the director of the HA Recovery Program and the Recover from HA Support Group. And I'm so happy that I'm here today to talk to you about progesterone, how to know if it's low in your body, how to boost it up a little, and all the things that are interfering with your hormonal balance. So it doesn't matter if you got your menstrual cycle back, if you're trying to conceive, or if you haven't had your first period yet. All these informations are going to be very useful for you. Some of them can be implemented straight away. First thing, I would like to apologize about the light in the room. It's a little bit dim and quite romantic, but unfortunately the bulb exploded just before this video. But I'm pretty sure that you don't care so much about that. So without further ado, let's talk about progesterone. So how do you know if progesterone is low in the body? So there are a few things that are going to really help you, and they're going to be a telltale signs to understand how your body is performing when it comes to your sex hormones. So first of all, it's quite useful to track your basal body temperature. So normally after ovulation, you should start seeing a spike in temperature. And that's a way for you to understand if you have ovulated or not, because normally progesterone rises the basal body temperature. If you don't see a change in your temperature, that may be caused because your progesterone is low. And I say then maybe because there are other reasons that can cause that can interfere with the change of your basal body temperature. But that's something that it's very easy to check. That you can do it in the comfort of your own home, and that gives you an idea of how your body is performing. Something else that you can do is the old blood test. I love a good old blood test. Sometimes it's really needed to understand what is going on in our body. And if you want to check your progesterone level and if you have a period, just make sure that you do your blood test between day 21 and 22 of your menstrual cycle, which is basically 5 to 7 days before you get your menstrual cycle. Obviously, it's going to give you just a screenshot in time. So it's just going to tell you how what your body is doing for that specific month. So it's a good idea actually to test it after you implement some of the changes that we're going to be discussing. And if you're interested in working with me and understanding how to apply those changes in your specific situation, please feel free to drop me a DM, to send me an email. I'm always looking forward to help you guys. Or I should say, help you ladies to reach your goals, which may be to get your period back, to have a regular menstrual cycle, to have less symptoms, or to finally have a baby. So the first thing that you can do is just measure your basal body temperature. Second thing is get a blood test done. And normally a progesterone level should be around 40. That's an ideal number that I would like to see on paper to understand that you had produced enough progesterone. And remember that progesterone always goes hand in hand with egg quality, which is why it's so important, especially when we're talking about fertility. Another telltale sign that indicates that your progesterone level may be low is having a short luteal phase, which is basically the phase between your ovulation and menstruation. If it is anything less than 10 days, that means that possibly your progesterone level is not strong enough, because what happens is that estrogen thicken the uterine lining, and then the progesterone thin the uterine lining. So when you have those sex hormones imbalance, you will notice that the luteal phase in nothing shorter than 10 days, just to give the body the chance to actually go through the thickening and thinning phase, and then before having a bleed. Another sign could be heavy menstruation. Mind you, heavy menstruation can be caused by so many other things, like, for example, adenomyosis, endometriosis, fibroids, even PCOS sometimes. So low progesterone can be just one of the causes, for the same reason that I described before, because estrogen thickens the lining and progesterone thins the lining. So if you don't have enough progesterone, you're going to shed lots of endometrium. Okay, so that's another sign, having heavy bleeding, and also normally they are paired up with sore breast, quite full breast, and anxiety. And I'm not talking about being irritable for a couple of days before getting your menstrual cycle, but being overcome by anxiety. The kind of anxiety that sometimes make you feel extremely overwhelmed and also make you think that there is something really wrong with your mental health and that you may need to speak with a doctor. Another thing that I would like to discuss, possibly that's the last telltale sign of having low progesterone, is experiencing cervical mucus, fertile cervical mucus, just in the few days before getting your period, because normally we see the cervical mucus within the 3 days, 4 days of ovulation, and then it dries out, because that's what progesterone does, it dries out the cervical mucus. But if you tend to see it and experience it just a few days before getting your menstrual cycle, that's possibly because of low progesterone. And mind you, the cervical mucus can be egg white, so the kind of stretchy CM, but it can also be experienced like a gushing out of water. So it doesn't have to be that sticky and that transparent. It can also look different in many different women. And that's something that I would like to underline, because every single woman is expecting to see the textbook cervical mucus, and sometimes that's not the case. Also, spotting before getting your period, that's another sign that your progesterone level is not high enough. So what are the causes of having low progesterone or having your hormones quite imbalanced? First of all is a body depletion. And especially because I'm here talking to you ladies, you exactly know what I'm about to say. So body depletion can be caused by overtraining, undereating, or undernourishing your body, which it doesn't mean always undereating, but sometimes it means cutting macros out of your diet, which are really important for your sex hormones to be in balance. And so it can be depletion, but also from a lifestyle point of view. So not sleeping enough, not filling your cup, not allowing yourself to have breaks during your working week or your working day, not doing things that make life fun and joyful, not allowing yourself to achieving your dream or even dreaming about having goals and dreams. And something else that it's also may also cause low progesterone, and that also cause the sex hormones to be out of the whack, is the exposure to blue light, which is something that I always need to be mindful of, because I have an online practice. I work with the laptop all day long. And then at the end of the day, it's very easy for me to sit in front of the TV or to check Instagram or Facebook. And so, which is why I was just sharing with you today, 2 seconds ago, that that's something that I always have to be careful and mindful of. But the blue lights really affect the production of progesterone, which is why it's very important to invest in some great blue blockers. So that, you know, like the glasses that you can wear, and they shed you from all the blue light. Or you can also buy bulbs, which are blue light blocking bulb. Oh my God, it's such a mouthful for me to say that. But so these are the 2 things that I seriously invite you to get. And if you look back when we were, if you look back at 500 years ago, so we would be awake and we would be doing things and spending time with people during the day when there was light. And then at nighttime, we would basically stay inside home and it was dark, and the only source of light would come from a flame, which is a very gentle way of bringing light into a house. So, you know, like watching fires sometimes, it's very romantic, it's very calming, opposed to watching a TV series where there are people murdering each other out or zombie following each other, if you get the gist. So the blue lights can be really impacting your health in general, your mental health, and also your hormonal health. So investing in different bulbs or different glasses could seriously make it or break it. Then there are a few other things that we need to take into consideration. For example, having hyperthyroidism or autoimmune disease, or even taking some specific antidepressant that can increase the level of prolactin, which obviously interfere with the production of progesterone. So these are just few of the things to watch out for that may be causing the low progesterone level, but your situation may be different. And that's why sometimes it's very important to book in a consult with me. So we go through all your history, your background, and I understand where you're coming from, so we can put a plan in place together. So you don't have to, do all the searching and all the trying on your own, but you have an expert that can help you to create a plan, and then we can speak constantly to understand if the plan is working for you and if you can also implement it into your daily routine. Now let's move on to the third part of this video, which is possibly the part that is more interesting to you. What can you do to just implement the production of progesterone? So as we just mentioned, lifestyle, it's super important. So getting the blue blockers, changing the bulb in your house, filling in your cup, eating the foods, eating all the macros, do gentle exercise, spend time with the people that you love, laugh every single day, have sex, sleep as much as you can. Sleep is it's gold for me. I have 2 kids and most of the nights my sleep is broken. And honestly, when I will go back to sleeping normally in a few years from now, I will never ever take it for granted again. Lots of women, especially when they have hormonal imbalances and also low progesterone, can also experience insomnia. So, which is why sleeping is so important, because it's tightly connected with your hormonal health. Something else that you can do is, apart from eating the food, which is your medicine right now, so nourishing your body appropriately. So have enough proteins and enough fats, which are precursor to the production of progesterone and hormones, but also carbohydrates, antioxidants, and also remember that the blue light affect the production of melatonin from the pineal gland. And we all know that melatonin is a sleep precursor because it's a sleep hormone, but it's also the most powerful antioxidant in our body. And when it comes to egg quality, we are always looking for a good amount of antioxidants running through our body, of course. Okay, so in terms of supplements, there are a few things that I invite you to take. But having said that, don't go out, don't buy your supplements online, because I'm very pedantic when it comes to supplements. I like to get them from sources that I trust and that I know, that I've tried and have tried on my clients. And also remember that you need to get tested before taking a few of the supplements that I'm going to mention. And some of them are going to be completely paramount and useful for you. Others, they're going to be quite detrimental. So don't supplement on your own. Just always ask a medical provider or your professionals, that your dietitian, your nutritionist, your naturopath. Have a conversation with them before start taking supplements, or have a conversation with me. Okay. This is very important, and that's a huge disclaimer before talking about supplements. So there is a triage when it comes to progesterone production, which is zinc, and that's something that needs to be tested first. And if you are a vegetarian or if you're a vegan, that's possibly something that is going to be lacking in your body. So it's very important to check that out. Zinc is a big one. Magnesium, absolutely, especially magnesium bisglycinate, because it's very well absorbed in the body. If you suffer from constipation, magnesium citrate can also be an option for you, just to get the bowel moving. And so magnesium, zinc, and B6. But I wouldn't take just B6 on its own, because all the B vitamins, they have absolutely important functions, and they collaborate so well with each other. Something else that I would like you to consider is also taking N-acetylcysteine, which is also called a snack, and a CoQ10, simply because, as I said before, low progesterone is tightly connected with your egg quality, and a CoQ10 and NAC, they work on your mitochondrial function, which can improve the egg quality. In terms of herbs, which is slightly out of my scope of practice because I'm not a naturopath, I normally recommend wild yam, rhodiola, and Vitex, just in some scenarios, because Vitex is a can work very well, but can be at someone's detriment as well, especially if you have a low level of LH. I would not recommend Vitex at all. And also, if you're in a phase of your life where Vitex is not the go-to supplements, I would just stay away from it. And but that's a topic for a completely different video. Actually, I should make a video about Vitex, because most of you, when they come to see me, they have already tried taking Vitex, and some of you have reacted very well to it, others haven't. So food for thought. So I really hope that this video was useful. Now you know how you can track your progesterone level. Now you know how to have an idea if you have enough progesterone running through your body. Possibly now you have a better understanding of the reasons why your progesterone level has been affected. And always remember that there is a ratio between progesterone and estrogen. So for example, if you get your blood tested on day 21 of the cycle, I would like to see a ratio of 9:1 or 10:1. And then I really hope that you know how to implement a few changes so that you can improve your natural progesterone production in the next cycle, or for when you will get the cycle, or if you're trying for a baby. Now, I really hope that you have a better understanding of how important it is to have great egg quality if you want to have enough progesterone. Alrighty, so I really hope that this video was quite clear and informative. If you want to know more about a specific topic, just let me know, because sometimes I don't make these videos because I'm not too sure what you really want to hear from me. So make sure that you tell me so I can make more of these videos, which I love and enjoy incredibly. And also, if you would like to make an appointment with me, just reach out, send me a DM. If instead you're interested in joining the HA recovery program or the HA community and finally get your period back and get pregnant in 2022, or simply get your period back and get your life on track and get rid of disorder behaviors around food and exercise, once again, drop a comment below. That's all you have to do today. Just say me, and I will get in touch and take care of the rest. I send you a massive virtual hug. Stay safe, and bye-bye for now.